Welcome back. Today we're doing lesson 1.3, least common multiple, also known as, just for short, LCM. Okay, in this lesson, I will be able to find the least common multiple of two or more numbers. I will be able to find the LCM, just for short, using both the listing method and the ladder method, and understand when it is best to use each one. Okay, so we have a couple of vocabulary words. This is page 20. Make sure you've pulled it out of your journal to be writing on it. Go ahead and pull out pages 16 and 17. We've got a couple of definitions, so we're going to record the vocabulary multiple and least common multiple. So on page 16 at the bottom, we have our definition for multiple. The result of multiplying, that's where multiple comes from, multiplying a number by another whole number, meaning we're not multiplying it by a decimal or a fraction. Okay, examples. Multiples of 4 are, so 4 times 1 would be 4. Multiply 4 by 2, you get 8. Multiply 4 by 3, you get 12. Okay, the next multiple of 4, 16, 20. Okay, I think you get the idea. All right, starting on page 17. The definition for least common multiple, or LCM, is the smallest multiple that is shared, that two or more, because you can find the least common multiple of 3 or 4 numbers, shared in common. So, the smallest multiple that 2 or more numbers share in common. Okay, that's all for our vocabulary for now. Go ahead and go back to page 20. All right. So where would we use this? And we're going to do both the listing method and the ladder method. You were in charge of the hot dogs for a school barbecue fundraiser. When shopping for large amounts of hot dogs and buns, you find that the hot dogs come in 18 to a pack and buns come 24 to a pack. What is the least amount of buns and hot dogs you have to buy to have exactly enough buns as you have hot dogs so that there are no extras? How many packages of each item would that be? Okay, so the listing method, we're going to list multiples until they match up. So 18 and 24. Okay, this is one of those rare occasions where I'm going to allow you to use your calculator tool. Okay. So we're going to list the first few multiples of 18. Well, the first one's easy, 18. First one of 24 is easy, 24, right? Okay, so the next multiple of 18, 18 times 2, 36. 24 times 2, most of you I think know that one in your head, 48. But you can use a calculator. Okay, do you see anything that's shared in common yet? No? All right, so let's do another one. 18 times 3, 54. 24 times 3, 72. See anything that matches yet? Nope. All right, keep going. 18 times 4, 72. Bingo. We got something that matches. We have 72 and 72. So that means that our LCM, or the smallest multiple they share in common, is 72. Okay, I let you use the calculator just because these are rather large numbers and I didn't have enough space for you to keep multiplying stuff out. However, when you do have to do this kind of stuff by hand, realize that's what you need to do. Okay, now we're going to do the ladder method. This one I love so much more personally, just because it's easier for me to think about. So I'm going to list the two numbers that we're doing, so 18 and 24. Now remember yesterday when we were doing least common, or when we were doing prime factorization, that's where this skill comes in handy. Okay, so the ladder, draw a little L shape like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a star for any number that divides evenly into both of these. The reason I like this is if I didn't have a calculator available, coming up with all these big multiples would kind of be a pain. But when I am dividing, it's pretty easy to do these. So what's a number that goes into both 18 and 24? 3. 3 goes into both of them. Because 3 goes into both of them, just draw a star next to it. 3 goes into 18, 6 times. 3 goes into 24, 4 times. Or not 4 times, 8 times, sorry. Okay, now I keep going until I have nothing that goes into both of them anymore. So is there a number that goes into both 6 and 8? Yes, there is. 2 will go into both of them. So if I put 2 there, 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 8 4 times. Now is there a number that goes into both 3 and 4? Okay, whenever you do the ladder, you always have to start with a star, something that goes into both. But if you can't come up with anything more, that tells you you're done. So the LCM, do you see this lovely L that I'm making out of these factors? All I have to do is multiply everything in the L together to find my least common multiple. Okay, so 3 times 2, because these were shared in common, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. And then 18 times 4 is 72. So what does that tell us? That says you would need to buy a total of 72 hot dogs and buns so that you don't have more buns than hot dogs left over after you're done. But now how many packages of each would we need? So looking up here, 18 was the amount of hot dogs, come 18 to a pack. So how many packages of hot dogs would we need to buy? 1, 2, 3, 4. Or right here, do you see this? There were 4 left. We need 4 packages of hot dogs. And buns, we would need 3 of them. Okay, let's try another one. Ariel, Emmett, and Keisha are running laps for PE. Ariel runs 1 lap every 5 minutes, Emmett 1 every 4 minutes, and Keisha does 1 every 10 minutes. If they start at the same time, how many minutes pass until they're all at the starting line again together? So each lap is going to be 5 minutes, so she's going to be doing multiples of 5, then 10, then 15, so far as she's running around. Multiples of 4 and multiples of 10. So let's do the listing method here. So let's do multiples of 5, multiples of 4, and multiples of 10. Okay, this one you shouldn't need your calculator for. So 5 times 1 is 5. 4 times 1 is 4. 10 times 1 is 10. Okay, nothing matches yet. 10. Ooh, I have a match there. 8. I have to have a match with all of them though. So far, I don't have anything. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going. 15. 4 times 3 is 12. 30. Okay, times 4, that would be 20 here. Ooh, 20 and 20. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay. And 40. 5 times 5 is 25. 4 times 5 is 20. And 10 times 5 is 50. Oh, look. We got a 20 in this one, a 20 in this one, and a 20 in this one. So our LCM, or least common multiple, is 20. Now let's try this with the ladder method. So we have 5. So when you do the ladder, you have to start out with one number that goes into all of them. So start with a star. What number goes into 5, 4, and 10? Okay, I can't think of any prime numbers that do, but 1 will. I know 1 will go into all of them. Problem is, that doesn't change anything. However, because I always have to start with a star, now the next one can be a number that goes into just some of them. So what's a number that goes into just some of these numbers? Well, 4 and 10 have 2 in common, so I'm going to put 2, but this time I'm not putting a star. The reason I'm not putting a star is because 2 only goes into 4 and 10, so 2 won't go into 5. I just bring 5 down here because I couldn't do anything with it. However, 2 goes into 4 2 times, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. Now, is there a number that goes into some of these? 5. Okay. So we're going to put a 5 out here, but not a star, because 5 doesn't go into all of them. 5 goes into 5 1 time. 5 goes into 2. It doesn't, so we just write 2. 5 goes into 5 1 time. Now, do you see anything down here besides one that goes into some of these numbers? No. So there's our L. Our least common multiple we can do by multiplying these all together. So 1 times 2 times 5 times 1 times 2 times 1. Well, 1 times 2 is 2. Two times 5 is 10. Bring down everything I haven't changed. 10 times 1 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20, and then 20 times 1 is 20. Really, if you understand math, but if I would have just worried about the other numbers, 2 times 5 times 2, that's where the 20 came from. So you can ignore the ones in here if you understand that when you multiply by 1, it's not going to change anything. So we still got 20. So how long would it take for all of them to be at the starting line together? It would take 20 minutes. Okay, now I want you to think about what the I can statements we set up here. I will be able to find the least common multiple, and I'll be able to use the listing method and the ladder method. Rate yourself on this concept. Would you say you're at 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4? After you take a picture and send it to me on Google Classroom.